Joan Jeffries as Marion Kirby, the ghostess with the mostess. Robert Sterling as George Kirby, that most sporty spirit. And Leo G. Carroll, host to said ghosts, as Topper.
Come in.
Is it all right if I check your phone?
Yes, but be quick and quiet about it. Just a minute, Miss Erskine. I want the exact net worth of Vale Mining. Write it on a slip of paper for me. Good. Now hand me the Bridgeport steel file. Thank you. Now, Miss Erskine, if you'll just...
What the... George, what are you doing here? I only came to fix the phone. I'm your new secretary.
Is your name George?
Yes, sir. George Workman. I'll fix the phone later.
Now, why did you want to scare the poor fellow, Topper?
Excuse me.
Get out before I throw you out.
I'm going. Just order my file, that's all.
Kirby, this sort of nonsense has got to stop.
But I didn't do anything. Miss Erskine went home, but I just wanted to help.
Get out! I'm sorry, Mr. Schuyler. I was doing my nails and the file slipped.
Topper, have you lost your mind? You've been acting strangely for weeks. Now tell me, what is it?
All right, Mr. Schuyler, I'll tell you. I'm living with 3 ghosts. A young couple named Kirby and their St. Bernard dog. They died in an avalanche.
Mm-hmm.
I bought their house just after the accident. But what I didn't know is that they still occupy it. In ectoplasm form, of course.
Yes, of course. What does your wife think about it?
Oh, she doesn't know. You see, no one can see or hear these ghosts except me.
I see.
You know, that sounds preposterous even to me.
Topper, you sure you feel all right?
No. As a matter of fact, I feel miserable.
Is that what you think of Vale Mining? Topper, you're suffering from overwork.
I am?
Definitely overwork. Pity, too. I plan to give you a very substantial bonus for handling the Vale Bridgeport merger.
I feel fine.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Well, you go home and get a good rest. Take your papers with you. Maybe you'll be able to iron out the details by morning. And Topper, no more of that ghost malarkey.
Topper. Yes, sir?
What happened?
Nothing. You're just suffering from overwork.
What about those?
Oh, just balancing the accounts. Good day, Mr. Schuyler.
What's that?
Speaking as a banker, dear, I should say it was a note.
Dear Mrs. Topper, dinner is cooked and in the freezer. Please help yourself. Yours truly, Katie. I must find out what's wrong. You get the stuff out of the freezer, dear.
What do you think you're doing? And that dog?
He is not. He's a St. Bernard.
No, I should never speak to you again after what you did at the bank today.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, old man. Listen, you come on and sit down and we'll get you some dinner.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Well, what happened to Katie?
You tell him, honey.
Well, we really don't know what happened, but this morning she read a horoscope and locked herself in her room.
Here. I don't want to start my meal with ice cream.
That's not ice cream. That's split pea soup, frozen.
I'll eat with a fork. Don't you think we'd better take the chill off these?
George, take that away. Here, Top, you'll just love the spaghetti. Katie, I know you're in there. You must answer me.
Now, what's that?
What's a martini popsicle? I made a batch for Neil this morning. Saves time. Here, boy.
Cosmo, what do you make of this? What have you done?
Oh, dinner, dear.
We can't eat any of that stuff until it thaws out. Put it in the oven for 30 minutes.
On one condition.
What's that?
That while we're waiting for it to thaw out, we go to a restaurant and have dinner.
Very well. Katie says not to communicate with her until midnight. She's never acted like this before. My stars.
No, dear, not yours. Hers.
Such a dull picture. What time is it, Cosmo?
Almost midnight. Witching hour, dear, when people change into all sorts of things.
Well, I hope Katie's changed back into a cook. I think I'll see if she's communicating with us again.
Do not disturb the master. He is peering into the future, calling on the wisdom of India.
Oh, get out with this nonsense. What's it for?
Unbeliever, trust not yourself like Katie to such superstitions as astrology. The master has the answers.
I don't need any answers.
Old man with teeth like walnuts and nose like the cabbage plant. Thou hast the ignorance of the loudmouth and the skepticism of the dolt. Kismet, I have spoken.
The famous Indian rope trick.
Around your neck?
Oh, I saw it lying here. I thought I'd try it on, in case I wanted to hang myself.
Well, that won't be necessary anymore. Here's Katie.
I thought I recognized her.
Katie, tell Mr. Tupper why you've been behaving so strangely.
Well, you see, sir, I was told not to have any contact with my employers until after midnight.
By your union?
No, by my astrologer. My horoscope said that if I saw you yesterday, we'd have a big fight.
Go on, Katie.
Well, you see, sir, I'm Capricorn, the goat.
I'm sure it's only temporary, Katie.
That's one of the signs, dear.
Oh.
Katie, since when have you been consulting an astrologist?
Since last Tuesday, sir. And Madame Gazer predicted this would be a very bad week for me.
Madame Gazer?
Hey, George, I used to go to her. She once read my mind.
That's like taking a day off.
Well, Kitty, this fortune teller takes all your money. Don't blame me.
She's not a fortune teller.
Well, I don't care what she is. I won't have her upset my household.
You see? Just as Madame Gazer predicted. We're having a fight.
Now, Venus has moved out of the house of Jupiter.
I always said that wouldn't last.
George, don't make fun of Madame Gaze. I think she's cute.
It's a wonderful sign for you, Miss Katie.
But that's Mrs. Topper's horoscope.
Oh, well, it's a wonderful sign for you, Mrs. Topper.
It is?
Oh, yes, today's going to be such a good day. Almost as good as yesterday.
Didn't Henrietta fall downstairs yesterday?
That was before she met Madame Gaze.
Oh, no. I'm so glad you're here. This is Madame Gazer.
How do you do?
Don't move. I can tell just by looking at you. You're Sagittarius, the archer.
I'm afraid you're a little confused. I'm Cosmo Topper, the banker.
No, she's talking about the stars, the universe, the cosmos.
I didn't know there were any other cosmos beside Topper.
Such an interesting head. I wish you'd let me read it.
I'm sorry, but I'm not through with it myself yet.
Oh, go on, old man. Lend her your head.
Only you had faith, Mr. Topper. Faith can move mountains.
I like things left where they are.
Only faith could move you. George, isn't astrology wonderful?
Madame Gazer, how did you do that?
I'm not sure.
Set me down.
Oh, don't be silly. You're not heavy. Beware of strangers. Avoid all legal matters.
Keep quiet.
But I haven't said a word.
Speak up then, don't be shy.
Cosmo, what time were you born?
Now, how should I know? And if anyone else wants to bother me, I shall be locked in my room. And that includes you.
It includes me.
Avoid domestic entanglements. Oh, dear, I shouldn't talk to Cosmo at all today. How am I going to find out?
Find out what?
Madame Gazer says she can do Cosmo's horoscope without his ever knowing it, but she's got to know what time he was born.
Maybe he'll tell me.
I don't think he knows himself.
Ma'am, why don't you ask his mother? She'll know.
Mr. Topper's parents have passed away.
Pity. Did you find out?
I looked every place. His baby book, his birth certificate. There doesn't seem to be any record of what time he was born.
Maybe we could starve him into telling us, ma'am.
I'm afraid it's hopeless. And Madame Gazer said today would be a day of revelation.
What a trip. It's good to be back.
We mustn't forget to tell Topper that his parents sent their regards.
Gee, Topper's folks are real nice people, aren't they, Mary? Too bad they can't materialize like us.
Anyway, she told us when Topper was born. I wonder how she knew.
I guess she happened to be around at the time.
The cake just revelated.
He has a perfectly brilliant outlook, full of success.
After tomorrow. What do you mean, after tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, Mars and Neptune are joying with Virgo in the third house.
Or what?
Is that good?
Good. It's at the nadir of the node. Couldn't be worse. Didn't you say that Mr. Topper was in banking? Well, tomorrow's the worst day in the whole year for business transactions. He mustn't sign any papers of any sort. It'd be fatal.
George, that merger, how are we going to stop him?
Well, I told them not to go through with it.
Oh, that reminds me. Here's your forecast for tomorrow.
I predict showers.
It's very exotic. You're going to meet a man from across the water. Well, I really must be going now. And whatever you do, don't let Mr. Topper transact any business tomorrow.
I'll do my best.
Oh, don't you fret now. Everything will take a turn for the better next month.
It will?
Cosmo, you don't look a bit well. You'd better go right to bed and stay there till Friday.
What?
I mean it, dear. You've been working too hard. You need a long rest. A day at least.
Well, it'll have to wait till next week. Tomorrow's the big merger.
Oh, that's even worse. The signs all point to disaster.
What sign? Oh, you mean the zodiac? Well, it's your horoscope, dear, not mine.
No, it's yours.
Mine? You mean you've had that twittering gypsy draw up my horoscope? Well, it's enough that you run your life by stars and goats and heaven knows what all. But when you begin to run mine...
Shh, quiet, Neil. You don't want to wake Topper.
Well, I guess this cleans out the closet, huh?
There's nothing left in there but Henrietta's old umbrella, and it's a cinch you can't wear that.
We better hide these outside. Come on, Neil.
Here, come back with my pajamas. George, Marion. Marion? Henrietta! Marion! George! Anyone! George! My coat!
Who keeps opening that door?
Well, tell Mr. Topper to phone me the moment he comes in, Miss Erskine. Thank you. Goodbye.
Mrs. Topper, ma'am. He's here.
Who's here?
The foreigner, just like Madame Geza said.
How do you know?
I saw him through the window. He's all dressed up like one of those old Roman statues.
Oh, Cosmo. This isn't funny.
What isn't funny?
Pretending to be a foreigner.
It's fooling with fate, Mr. Topper.
Where are my clothes? I'm not fooling.
What clothes? What's he talking about?
We'd better lock him in just to play safe.
He's gonna hang us in the morning.
Help! Help!
What's that?
I'm locked in.
Mrs. Topper, it's Providence.
What is?
He's been locked in and with no clothes. Now he can't go to the bank and sign anything.
Henrietta!
But Katie...
What's meant to be is meant to be, and you've got no right interfering with it.
Let me out! Let me out!
Mrs. Topper! Mrs. Topper, come quick!
What is it, Katie?
A foreigner, if ever I've seen one.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Katie. That's Mr. Schuyler, the president of the bank.
Oh,
Oh, dear. He looks angry.
maybe we better not let him in.
I'll tell him Mr. Topper's not well.
Where is Topper?
He's sick upstairs in bed.
Awful sick in bed.
He wasn't sick this morning. You phoned Miss Erskine, said he was on his way to the bank.
He collapsed before he got there.
Well, I hope he realizes that he has ruined one of the biggest mergers in the bank's history. Now, I must insist upon seeing him.
You can't see him. You might catch whatever he's got.
Don't handle him too roughly, George.
Well, stop struggling, Topper.
Yes, darling, go to bed quietly. Now, we know what's best for you.
What are you doing to me? Go away. What are you doing to me?
Quiet, you're sick.
Awful sick. I am not.
Well, you will be when you hear that Skylar's downstairs.
Cosmo.
Correction, upstairs.
Please sit, Topper.
Cosmo. Are you sick?
Don't you wave at me, Cosmo Topper. I don't care how sick you are, at least you could have sent word. It may interest you to know that because of your absence, that merger fell through.
Hello? Yes, he's right here. For you, Mr. Schuyler.
Oh.
The bank.
Hello? Yeah? What? Why, that's terrible. What? Why, that's wonderful. Thanks a lot. Goodbye. Well, Topper, I guess you're pretty lucky.
Oh, that's good.
By getting sick, you have saved the bank a fortune.
You see? And I made you sick.
They just learned at the bank that the assets of Vale Mining are not what they represented them to be.
Well, I told you that was a phony start, Topper. Remember my memo?
Mr. Schuyler, do you recall a certain memo concerning the assets of Vale Mining?
Yes. Yes, you said they were absolutely worthless. Topper, that bonus still goes.
Oh, Cosmo.
Then it wasn't just luck after all. You're a real financial genius, by George.
By George is right, Mr. Schuyler. And by Marion, too.
A John W. Lufton, Bernard L. Schubert production. Produced by John W. Lufton. Starring Ann Jeffries, Robert Sterling, and Leo G. Carroll. Jeffries as Marion Kirby, the ghostess with the mostess. Robert Sterling as George Kirby, that most sporty spirit. And Leo G. Carroll, host to said ghosts, as Topper.
Come in.
Is it all right if I check your phone?
Yes, but be quick and quiet about it. Just a minute, Miss Erskine. I want the exact net worth of Vale Mining. Write it on a slip of paper for me. Good. Now hand me the Bridgeport steel file. Thank you. Now, Miss Erskine, if you'll just...
What the... George, what are you doing here?
I only came to fix the phone. I'm your new secretary.
Is your name George?
Yes, sir. George Workman. I'll fix the phone later. Now, why did you want to scare the poor fellow, Topper?
Excuse me. Get out before I throw you out.
I'm going. Just water my file, that's all.
Kirby, this sort of nonsense has got to stop.
But I didn't do anything. Miss Erskine went home, and I just wanted to help.
Get out.